Good morning. Ukraine's President Zelensky will be at the White House again today, but this time he has backup. Still, the message from the Trump administration may be as it was on that day in February in the Oval Office when Zelensky was berated by President Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance. The message then was, "You have no cards." European Union leaders, including prime ministers of Great Britain and Italy, the president of France and chancellor of Germany, the head of the European Union, etc., will be at the White House to see what Trump and the likes of Secretary of State Rubio have in mind following the summit with Putin in Alaska. Out of that, Trump decided not to impose new penalties on Russia, even though Putin did not agree to a ceasefire.
What it's going to take to stop the fighting, if we're being honest and serious here, is both sides are going to have to give, and both sides should expect to get something from this. And that's a very difficult thing to do. It's very difficult because Ukraine obviously feels, harmed, and rightfully so, because they were invaded. And the Russian side, because they feel like they've got momentum in the battlefield and frankly don't care. Don't seem to care very much about how many Russian soldiers die in this endeavor.
That's Rubio on CBS's Face the Nation. The meetings could go on for hours. The general consensus is the European leaders are on hand to make sure Trump does not force major land concessions, as the expectation is Putin told Trump he wants the territory Russia now holds in eastern Ukraine for a truce. And ever anxious to get a Nobel Peace Prize, Trump might be okay with that. On ABC's This Week, Biden National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan.
The outcome that this American president articulated, a ceasefire or consequences, he did not produce. And that is why I think we find ourselves in a difficult situation today. My hope is that President Trump will see, in hindsight, that President Putin is just trying to take us all for a ride, to keep this war going, keep attacking Ukraine without facing additional pressure. And we've got to cut him off at the pass.
Back on CBS, Rubio blasting the idea that Zelensky is being deliberately supported by the European leaders out of worry what Trump will want from the Ukrainian.
Oh, this is such a stupid media narrative that they're coming here tomorrow because Trump is going to bully Zelensky into a bad deal. We've been working with these people for weeks on this stuff. They're coming here tomorrow because they chose to come here tomorrow. We invited them to come. We invited them to come. The president invited them to come.
The White House spin is that things went so well with Putin on Friday, today's meeting could lead to a permanent settlement. With ear on the White House, I'm Bob Costantini.